Hey everyone, I wanted to go over some new and exciting news that we got for Pokemon Unite that's available on the Nintendo Switch and on mobile devices. Recently, one of the developers, Masakai Hoshino, did a rather in-depth conversation with Famitsu in an interview, and we got a lot of information regarding their development process and a lot of answers to some of the questions that people had been asking. One of which, and one of the more requested questions, was pretty much how they can get to decide which Pokemon are going to be able to make it into the roster. Remember that there's over 1,000 Pokemon at this point, and Game Freak themselves has a certain amount of them that they certainly want to promote for any given period. So the developers definitely had a little bit of a tricky time trying to decide which ones to showcase specifically for this game. But thankfully through this interview we now have some details, and I'm going to read following along from this direct translation from Nintendo Everything, so huge shout out to them for providing us the English version of this Japanese translation, which of course I'm going to leave the original article in the link description below. They say, "We choose Pokemon based on how easily players could pick their battle style by looking at them. As a Pokemon fan myself, I wanted a variety of Pokemon to take part in the game that includes eccentric picks like Crustle, and we wanted to explore all possibilities around the Pokemon that could be in the game." And they further continue, "We choose wild Pokemon based on how well they'll match up with the atmosphere of a specific stage. As a quick aside, if you defeat a Rotom, it sets off to destroy your opponent's goal. That is based off the information on the Pokédex that describes how Rotom can enter and disrupt electronic appliances." So according to their own wording, at the very least, some of the developers seem to be fully aware that having just nothing but popular Pokemon, or at the very least what we usually end up seeing in these type of spin-off Pokemon games, which are usually Generation 1 type of Pokemon, which are the most recognizable universally because that's how the peak of Pokemon actually was, they kind of realized that's not necessarily always going to work. So providing a little bit of an eccentric pick like Crustle, as they mentioned in the article, is always a good choice to have. Always providing different Pokemons that are not necessarily shown in the limelight is always a good thing to be able to have going forward, and could always provide a little bit of a spicy pick whenever they choose to provide new entries. The one answer that I do find interesting is the one where they mentioned the wild Pokemon essentially being matched to the atmosphere. I don't necessarily agree with that. But to a certain degree we don't necessarily have much to go off, because they do show off. Remember, some of the stages are pretty just linear, they're not necessarily all that weird. We'll have the house stage and we'll have the garden, but other than that, you know, not necessarily anything wild right now. So hopefully once they start providing different stages, or at the very least different themed stages, hopefully Halloween for example provides us with a little bit of a Halloween themed, at the very least, to the main stage, you know, maybe they can start to do something with that. But for now, I don't necessarily agree that they're actually doing a great job providing wild Pokemon that are matching all that well, but you know, that remains to be seen for sure. But that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you guys found it informational. I always love to go over developer information, only because we get a quick glance at pretty much how they get to make their decisions for the games that we all know and love. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya!